She, they, just like me, for real. What the fuck?
That's insane.
I'm Moth.
And I'm Siobhan.
And she, they, just like me.
For real.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, how you doing? It's been so fucking long, but I'm glad that we're doing this. I've been missing recording this show for so long. I've had the craziest month, but I am so excited to be back doing it with you. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Not as crazy as a month as you have had, I'm sure. Not nearly as much globe-trotting. As we talked about in the off-mic, was able to enjoy some concerts, which is always nice. Got a chance to see Peach Rings since the last time we recorded.
Another band we have to talk about.
That show was fucking great. It was a prom-themed show, too, which was a lot of fun.
I love that. Queer prom as an adult is so important, and that's cool that that was the part of the show.
Yeah, so, like, Ramona was in a dress, and I think the other people, like, in the band were kind of dressed up a little bit. We did not... we underestimated the prom theme. We thought it would be like, hey, you know, some people are gonna do whatever. Like, everybody showed up in, like, cheap dresses and tuxes, and we were the fucking, like... We were the standouts, like, not dressed for the event, because I wasn't able to find a cheap dress in time.
Oh, no.
But, you know, we were still able to take little cheap Polaroids. It was like a little photo opportunity stand, and you'd give the person, like, $1, and they would take a couple pictures. So we got those to keep as a little, like, keepsake, which is cute.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
You know, it also occurred to me that in between... the last episode and this episode, my Twitter got deleted.
Oh my god, that's right. There's so much that's happened this month. Holy fuck.
I think that actually happened the night of the Peach Rings show.
Oh my god.
If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's no longer your girl Moth, Y-E-R. It's now, you know, the actual Y-O-U-R.
Yeah.
It's my favorite fucking concert venue. I tagged the wall with my old Twitter handle.
Oh no.
And a friend of mine who was playing that venue a couple weeks ago took a picture of it and sent it to me, and I was like, oh, R.I.P. The legacy lives on. Like,
yeah.
Damn it. I gotta go in there and update it.
Yeah, that's so awful. But new account's doing okay, I guess? Right?
Yeah, it's doing okay.
Yeah, it's climbing back, you know?
You know, the thing is, and I don't want to get into technicalities too much, because I think it'll be boring, but the reason I left this Twitter in the first place was because I was getting really bad traction and engagement on it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, you know, you started a new page, you know, it's a fresh start. Now that I'm back to this page, it's like, oh yeah, there's the shitty engagement rate that I remember. Like, it's better than I was doing before, because, like, I've made a lot more friends since then and kind of found community that have been supportive, but it's nowhere near, like, I fucking got, like, a post that got, like, 4,000 likes on my old page. Like, I'm never gonna see that again on this one.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure you're gonna go viral again, and then, you know, it's gonna be easier this time too, because, like, you've already built up the clout, people know who you are, you know.
I'm hoping so, and I don't mean to be, you know, pity me or whatever, but there's so many, like, great posts on that page that are just lost forever, and well, like, I have all the pictures, I could just post them again and pretend I never posted them before.
Yeah, true.
They're new to
exactly.
somebody.
Yeah. Just recycle old ones. Exactly. You should definitely do that.
Sure. You were on your business trip, and I don't know how much of that you want to talk on, but there's at least one thing that is very pertinent that I need to ask you about.
Okay.
Your fucking post about goddamn Bride of Pinbot. I've never been so fucking proud of my bestie than when I fucking saw her take a goddamn picture with a pinball machine that I've played and I'm familiar with.
Oh yeah, no, I went to a pinball bar with an old friend from college who just like lives in the area, and it was like my first time really playing pinball like as an adult, and I had a great time. It was like so fun. And that one in particular was really fun because it's all about building a woman. So I was like, oh my God, just like me for real, you know? Like,
I never made that connection either.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun. And there was like other ones there too, like more modern ones. There was like the Godzilla pinball game and the Deadpool pinball game, which were really fun.
I didn't want to sound too nerdy, but when I saw the picture of the picture you posted, I saw the side of the machine next to it, and I was like, I bet that's the Godzilla table.
Yep, it was, and we played that one too. That one was really fun.
I like the new ones. Yeah, they got like the new mechanics, and they got the video screen on them. It's really cool.
Yeah, and there's like missions that you have to do to like get like super big points and stuff. It was really fun. Yeah, and the bar was really nice too. It was like an arcade bar, like kind of holistically. Yeah. So it was like a little bit cheaper than like other arcade bars that I've been to, where like it was just $5 for a cover, and then you could play all the games. There were like less games. Yeah, there were like less games than at like, you know, some of the bigger like arcade bars that I've been to. But it was also like a third the cost, so that was really nice. And they had great drinks,
at least
too.
They charge accordingly. That's good. Siobhan's suggestion this week for the album that we're talking about on the show is the self-titled She, Her, Hers album. Like you said before we started, this is the most like dialed in, locked in, she, they, just like me for real album we've talked about. Is the most straightforward. Underscores kind of tiptoed around it. Happy birthday, Mr. Baskets.
Yeah.
That one dealt with it a little bit, but not directly. This, though.
Yeah.
This here, though. Now, I want to ask you a question, and if you want to get to them as we go, you can do that, or you could tell me now. I'm just very curious. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the record, and you had said that there were a couple tracks on here that, and I'm not trying to put you on blast here, but got the waterworks going.
Oh, yes. So it's got to be every single time I've heard them. Internet ads, gender is boring, and family.
Family's a rough one.
Yeah, those ones consistently make me cry. I think every song on here has really emotionally moved me, because every single one of them is about being a non-binary trans woman, basically.
This has nothing to do with the album, but I'm finding myself, and I don't want to kill the branding too much, but I find myself kind of floating away from the non-binary aspect of being a trans woman. Like, I'm leaning more into the she, her.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Less into the they.
Me too, 100%.
We're obviously different people, and we're going to experience gender and our own genders in different ways, you know, obviously. How's that working for you?
These days, I mostly tell people to I tell people my pronouns are she, her. You know, I really like the she, they is like a thing for me, and like the they is a thing that is more rapport based. Like for when people call me that, you know, like you called me that earlier, and I'm totally cool with that because we have this rapport built up, and you know me. You know what I mean? But I don't want like all the cis people that I work with to only call me they. That makes me very uncomfortable. It's
when they lean on the they as an easy out.
Exactly. Like, I've heard it referred to as the cowards they, where it's like they want to say he, but they're saying they. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the cowards they. I like that pneumatic a lot.
I hear the cowards they all the time.
Girl, me too.
I don't think I've heard a single she at work.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, I have not heard a single they at work in some places. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
Just because of who I have to work with sometimes, but never any of my actual coworkers. Just people I have to work with as part of my job.
Right, exactly, same. That I hate that. Can I tell you real quick that
of course
I am a people pleaser. You might have picked up on that.
No way. Yo, I'm definitely not that at all. Mm-mm.
You either? Wow. So there are people who kind of, I don't work with them directly, but I see them every so often. And they'll ask me to do a favor for them or get something for them. And I want to very badly because I like being helpful. But in the back of my head, I know I'm going to get a thank you, sir, at the end of it.
God.
And without fail, girl, I'm telling you, it's every fucking time. And it's like, why am I even bothering? This is why it hurts so bad. And I'm not trying to, the album's a bummer, so I was going to say, I don't want to be a bummer, but look at what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I worry sometimes that the people I work with who I've told my situation and that I am trans and what I want them to call me, that they understand and they know, but when I hear people who I haven't had a chance to talk about not know, my brain immediately goes to the people I work with that don't actually believe it, and that they're just going along with it because they know I told them and, they don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But, it feels like people are just not actually believing me, but appeasing me because they just want to be nice.
Yeah, placating you. Yeah, that's the worst. And I'll admit,
people that don't know, that's when the dysphoria kicks in, because then it's like, obviously, if I wasn't obvious enough to this person who doesn't know my situation, then everybody else must just be lying to me.
There's definitely some of the, especially male archaeologists I work with, I definitely get that vibe. I saw a post going around a couple of weeks ago about not every time someone says man around you, it's not misgendering every time, but that it is sometimes because of the vibes, right?
Oh.
Yeah. That's happened to me a lot. Yeah, that's happened to me a lot at work with some of the male archaeologists. I mean, there was even one time where this guy was like, we were it was the end of the project. He was like, it was great working with you, man. And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. And I'm just like, okay, you could have just let that lie and it probably would have been fine. But the fact that you apologized, says, in no uncertain terms that you were definitely misgendering me in your mind. You know what I mean? And this is a man that I wore a skirt every day after work. You know what I mean? I was not subtle about it. I posted some of my archaeology fits. They're very androgynous, but, I am very feminine still. So it's not hard. You
change out of your stuff into, pedestrian clothes when you're off your shift or whatever?
Yeah, 100%. Especially, that project, we were going out to dinner a lot. Yeah, and when we went out to dinner, I would, more so than any other woman I worked with, I would, put a full face on, or not a full face, but I'd put lots of a good amount of makeup on. I would put on a good fit every time. For me, it's look, it's not hard. It's very clear what I'm going for here. You know what I mean? It's you have to fix your heart or die.
She said the line. Woo!
Yes. Exactly.
Girl, you just fucking touched on something too, and I don't mean to cut you off if you had more there. I feel a considerable amount of pressure to put in more effort than cis women are, just to kind of be seen as even the slightest bit in that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's super exhausting how much of my day and how much of my brain power while I'm at work is taken up with, how are you walking?
Yes.
How are your shoulders right now? How does your face look? How does your hair look? And it's I know these cis bitches aren't thinking about this shit that much. or at all.
Oh, that's so real. And like the other thing is like I'm sure you probably experience this too because of your job, but like a lot of the cis women that I work with are pretty like butchy. Archaeologists tend to be very androgynous, you know, but I'm not afforded that because if I were to be like them, people would just not take me seriously in my transition. You know what I mean? The joys of being a trans woman in the workforce, you know? We love it.
I get up at 4 a.m. to be at work at 5. Nobody else, no cis women there, put effort into makeup or appearance or anything. And it's frustrating because they can just do that, you know? But I'll go out of my way to, like, do a little mascara maybe, just to get something, you know? Like, even if nobody else notices or even pays attention to it, it's something I know is there.
Yeah. God, 100%.
It's just a little reminder to myself.
Yeah.
Shit's rough.
Shit is rough out there, girl. But that's one of the things that I love about the like online spaces that we exist in, and like what we do with our community there, and what we're building in our like in-person communities, you know, is that it's very healing. For me, it's very like it gives me the strength to keep going. So shout out to all of my Twitter followers, and most importantly you, and all the people in my life, because you know they really do it for me.
As much as I hate that other people do experience the bullshit we experience, it does help to know that we're not alone in that. I might think that I'm either like falling behind or not doing things the right way. Mm-hmm. And then I'll look on Twitter and just be like, oh, this is just a problem everyone fucking has.
Yeah, 100%. And God, the fucking like perspective that it gives me is like so good. You know, especially like, you know, sometimes like a lot of the girls in our Twitter spaces are very beautiful, I will say. And I look at them sometimes and I'm like, holy shit, like this girl started transitioning the same time as me, and I feel like she's so ahead of me. And then I'll hear her like talk about something and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're just like me. It's fine. You know, it's like, it's fine. You know, we're all going through it. And that's really helpful too.
When dysphoria hits and you're not feeling good about how you look personally, and then you'll go on Twitter and you'll see a woman that, like, in your mind is just like, oh my God, like, she is fucking goals. If I could get even 10% at where she's at, I would be so fucking happy. And then you see that same person post, like, I need facial feminization, I need this, and you're just like,
yeah,
what? Like, and be even more fucking gorgeous? Like,
yeah,
everybody, no matter how attractive you think they are, is looking at just the same amount of people that you're looking at, being like, oh my God, they're so much more attractive than me. They're thinking the exact same thing about that many people being more attractive than them.
Yeah, exactly.
It never ends. It never ends.
Yeah, we're all just like envying someone else who's envying someone else, just like perpetually forever.
That's what fucking dysphoria does. It fucking sucks.
It fucking sucks, yeah. And, you know, another thing too I'll say is that like you can have a perception of like online trans girls that like, oh, they're living the life I want to be living, and like I will never be like that. And it's like, no, it's just like the fog of an online space, you know? Like, you don't see me like going to the gas station, haven't shaved in 3 days, boy moding, and like pissing in the men's restroom, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to cause a fucking scene. Because that's me most of the time. You know what I mean? I post, you know, selfies right after I've shaven with a full face, like in a good fit, from my best angle. You know what I mean? And that's not reality. And that's worth saying, because it's like, that also kind of puts it into perspective of like, we're all going through this. We're all experiencing this like this.
I deal with the exact same shit, except for the bathroom situation, because I just can't deal with bathrooms. So I'll just not. If Nebula's there, they'll provide me the buffer of going in with me.
Yes.
If by some chance I'm just out on my own or whatever, I'm not using a public bathroom. Like, I just can't. Yes. I can't bring myself to it. I hated using public bathrooms before I transitioned. There's no way I'm gonna like them more now.
Yeah. Oh my god. I will say that if I'm in a big city, at a bar or something like that, I've started to just use the women's, like, when I'm out. Because I'm like, I'm clearly giving woman right now. And if someone has a problem with this, like, I'll just be like, what, you've never seen a trans woman before? Like, you really gonna do this right now? You know? But I've also, that's never happened. Because, you know, most, like, big cities, it's fine. And also, honestly, most times, the bathroom is fucking empty. So you, like, panicking, true. And you're like, oh my god, what... someone's gonna see me, and they're gonna yell at me, and it's all gonna be over. I'm gonna get thrown out and arrested, and then you go in there and no one's there. It's completely fine. And if there's another woman last there,
time too.
Exactly, yeah. And sometimes there's another woman there, and you don't even talk. You wash your hands. You get out of there. You know what I mean? And it's fine. Even, like, you know, when I was out at that pinball bar with my friend, I used the women's a few times because we were drinking a lot. It was pretty fun. I went in there one time and it was crowded. I just kind of steeled myself and I went into the stall, and it's like the woman who used it before me left her drink in there, and I was like, hey, is that your drink? And she was like, it is. Oh my god, thank you. And it was like a good interaction, and that was the end of it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too. Is like, if I go in there, I'm like, well, I'm definitely not going to say anything because my voice is very clocky, you know. I want to talk about this fucking album.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Do you want to just go down the track list?
We might as well, because this album runs the gamut of just about every kind of thing here. And it starts with a super relatable track about depression. Yay!
Yeah.
This is... it's been a rough little bit. So this one is definitely a relatable track. I don't deal with depression the same way they do in the song. I definitely relate to it a good bit, for sure.
Getting comfy at the bottom because I've never been on top of anything. Wearing myself off the bottle of cynicism and apathy. Another existential crisis. Yeah, that's so relatable. And, like, there's also stuff in here, I think, about kind of, like, realizing you're trans, or, like, realizing you need to, like, do something about it. Because it also says, first step is admitting there's a problem. And the next is to-do list, color-coded drinking water, online applications, brushing my teeth, quitting smoking when the dread settles in, push it out again, don't let it win.
Such a great fucking chorus on that song, too.
It is.
So fucking catchy, that push it out, don't let it... I love that.
Yeah, and it's like real, like, punk anthem, you know?
Yes, yeah. This is definitely the anthem to my fucking girl rot days.
Oh my god, yes. 100%. This is a girl rot anthem.
Like, especially the drinking water, brushing your teeth, like... I hate to admit that there are days on the weekend where I just won't do any of that fucking shit. And will just be a fucking gross fucking heap. And it's because, like, depression will set in. You have a really good day, and it's like, wow, I can't even imagine being depressed. And then the next day, it's like, oh shit, I remember exactly how it's like to be depressed. This sucks.
Yeah, 100%.
You just never know.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I've been, like, engaging with that feeling a lot more since my transition, where, like, before, you know, I was, like, repressing so much that I just felt like I wasn't even alive all the time. But now I feel like there are days where it's like, wow, like, the sun is out and it's glowing inside me and I'm, like, alive, you know? But then other days, sometimes even the next day, I'm just not feeling it, you know? I'm just not going anywhere. I'm, like, boy moding all the time, you know? And I think that that's, like, a pretty interesting thing just in that, like, you know, I'm actually engaging with it. Like, it was always there, but because I'm living my life authentically now, it's something that I have to address. Where, like, you know, yeah, before I would just, like, get really high and then drink 5 beers before I went to bed, you know? So really, really powerful song. A great start to the record, too, because it's, like, pretty upbeat. The opening has, like, the band is, like, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-da. And it's, like, okay, yeah, we're doing it. Like, you could, what's the fucking ska dance?
Oh, you can fucking skank to that.
Yeah, you could. It's so skankable, you know, just like me, for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to mention this too, because not every song, but there are a handful of them on here that are redone from the Hopeful Scared EP.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple songs in general where, like, they get the full band electric treatment from the very, like, more bare bones, folk punky kind of way.
Yes. And
it helps shade and color a lot of the songs on the record in a new light, especially Gender is Boring, I remember being one. That
Never Pass being another.
Completely different songs now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it paints them with a completely different brush. I will say my only complaint, I guess it didn't fit thematically, I really wish Kill the Boy Band would have been on here.
Oh my god,
because I love that song so much.
Yes, Kill the Boy Band would have been a great, like, album closer for this one, I think.
I hate it's just like a standalone thing, like the full band version of it, because goddamn, I love that song so much.
Yeah, that song is so good. Okay, so you started a band? Let me guess who's in it. All straight, all white, able-bodied cis men. Oh,
can I tell you how many concerts I've been to, and it's like, I don't give a fuck about this band, because that's exactly it. Like, what different perspective are you about to give me right now? I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about what you have to say.
Exactly, yeah. What is this song about, a girl or a car? Yeah. I can't tell the difference anymore.
No, why would I fucking waste my time? Fuck that.
Yeah, wait, this isn't the same band that played before?
Yeah!
It's so good.
So goddamn good.
Love it. It's a banger.
You say you don't know too many female musicians. Well, who the fuck would want to be a part of a scene with people like you in it? God damn.
Yes. Oh my god.
Cook them alive.
You might as well play country.
Yeah. Fucking look, y'all. We're not gonna talk about the song more than this. Well, I mean, we're already talking about just about all of it. But
yeah, we said every line.
if you wanted to listen to the album we're talking about, which I do very strongly suggest, make an exception, and please also go listen to the standalone Kill the Boy Band, because it's such a good fucking song, and it's so fun and funny and true, and also sad, and how real it is. But Hopeful Scared is the next track here, and again, it also deals with your own personal struggles. They present some, I guess, individual kind of stories here. Like, my friend Kate had to move back in with her dad because this town ain't no place for a kid who's struggling to make rent. And I know we all make our own homes, but...
Temecula,
thank you. Is no place for personal growth. Y'all, when I say that shit, it's very close to home. Of just...
Yeah, that's so real.
You live in a fucking place where, like, this is... You know... I don't know if you've seen videos of moths when they hatch. I'll tell you I have, because they're a special interest. You wouldn't believe...
Wait a second. Are you telling me that moths are a special interest for you? No way.
I know it might come as a very big surprise. I should have prefaced you first and made sure you were sitting down. But when moths hatch... they emerge from their thing, and they have to climb on a flat surface that gives them enough room for their wings to fully grow outward. Or if they're stunted, they'll be deformed and they won't be able to fly. Like, if something fucks with that process, they might as well just die right there. So that is very relatable of... this moth, By the way, I didn't even fucking talk about that. Since the last episode, I applied for a name change. We didn't even mention that. I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah, that's fucking huge, girl. Congratulations.
Hopefully by the next episode, I can actually fucking say, like, yeah, this is fucking your girl Moth for real, as recognized by the goddamn state. But we'll see. I need a place where I can let my wings grow. And, like, I'm telling you, so many things are relatable. Like, I don't know if you've seen my background image on Twitter that I saw a mutual posted on Instagram, and I'm just going to read this real quick. Some women are more moth than butterfly, unveiling their painted wings in the moonlight, where only someone who isn't afraid to enter the darkness is worthy to adore them. Come the fuck on.
Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Moth, that's so beautiful.
I knew I related to these bitches. I knew it. I saw them and I was like, they get me.
Yeah, real. And there's like a lot of that in this song too. Like, you already know that security is complacency and comfort's the white flag. Please don't give up yet. It closes with, if you're not feeling hopeful, if you're not feeling scared, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's the feeling you get when you've got a crush or at the edge of a cliff before you take the plunge. A little bit hopeful, a little bit scared. Yeah. And like, kind of what I was talking about before about like transition being this thing where it's like, you know, yeah, like there are days that I do feel like more deeply and authentically depressed, as I also feel like so much joy, like I'm actually alive, you know? Not transitioning, because I repressed for so long, was that, you know, complacent security, was that comfortable white flag, you know? And yeah, now I do feel very hopeful, but also very scared. It's way preferable to feeling like I'm not alive, that I'm just wandering through life.
We don't really say this often because we think that TERFs are going to use it as a talking point against us, but they're going to use anything against us, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like I experience depression in a way more tangible way since I transitioned than before I transitioned. And
yes,
it's a different type, though. It's not that I'm sadder now, but before I transitioned, there were a lot of times that, like, I just didn't care about living. And it's not like I wanted to die, but it was just a lot of, like, if I died right now, it wouldn't be the worst thing, which is just as bad. Internet ads. Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay.
The third track on the record is Internet Ads.
Oh.
Which is a song about being in the closet. Not exactly repressing, but being afraid to transition. Mm-hmm. Like, recognizing that, like, you're feeling, you know, gender dysphoria, you're feeling, like, the desire to be a woman, be feminine, but just being scared.
There were definitely times where, like, little things like this would come up and it would be kind of funny. Like, oh, look at that. That's so funny that I'm getting these ads for this thing that is clearly for women. Haha, but I don't use that. I'm not a woman.
Oh my god, someone should shove the estrogen tablets directly under her tongue. Like, get him in there. Like,
burst through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man, squeeze my cheeks, so I just like, get in there.
Yes, exactly. That would have fixed me.
Oh my god, same, fuck.
But yeah, so the song uses this like central metaphor of personalized ads on the internet that know more about you than your closest friends and family. Ugh. And they're showing you Victoria's Secret ads. I used to keep some of my secrets in a box under my bed with a letter that said I was sorry just in case I was ever found dead. I used to wish I could just hide away in a hole that I dug in my room. I'd sit and play games and my body would change till I could come out and face you. Like,
yeah.
Holy shit. You know, I'm not gonna cry on this podcast. I'm not.
I'm gonna be the only one to ever cry in this show? That's not... No, that ain't happening, girl. Okay, if I'm crying, you're crying.
Fair.
I say this too much, unfortunately, of just like, I just wish there was a fucking hole that I could fucking bury myself in until, again, like, until that fucking moth is ready to emerge from the fucking cocoon. Like, can we skip to the good part? That fucking meme of just like, can I just like go away so where I'm not perceived for a while, and then when I'm done cooking, I'll fucking come out, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. Again, just me feeling so much envy for all the girls that started transitioning during COVID, and they got to have like so much time period where no one was going out. Oh my God. But
where they got to like work remotely and shit like that. Oh my God. Yeah. I fucking wish. Oh my God.
I really thought about it too. I thought about it.
Oh yeah?
I was like, no. Oh yeah. Because I'd basically been thinking about it for like 8 years before I transitioned.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like a big repressor, yeah. You don't have to give up your cave if the sun's too bright. Some days we're strong and others we're scared, and others we promised ourselves we'd be strong, but felt vastly unprepared.
The next one is really the crux of the whole thing. It's definitely a part of transitioning that it's unavoidable, I guess, because of the, you know, we live in a society.
What?
Again, I'm sorry, all the news breaks in this episode. Siobhan, we live in a society. I'm sorry.
No! They'll never take me alive.
Those personalized ads on my browser see nothing at all wrong with me. And it's kind of refreshing to be so accepted, even if all they accept is my money. Yeah, it's like, why would they not? Why would these companies where the whole goal is to sell more product not want to sell to you because you don't pass, because you don't identify the right way? Why would a big company, especially, like, I'm not talking like, you know, small town bigoted companies that refuse service or whatever. I'm talking like a Victoria's Secret, like they say in the song. And like, there's a fucking reason when I transitioned and when I started presenting myself femininely, like full time, I wanted Victoria's Secret panties. I wanted Victoria's Secret bras. And that's why I'm still wearing them, is because capitalism has drilled that into our fucking heads that is like the pinnacle of feminism, the pinnacle of beauty, the ideal sexiness. If you wanted to be desirable, if you wanted to be considered hot or whatever, like, you looked at Victoria's Secret models and people that looked like them. Yeah. So that naturally your mind is going to go there first. At least it did for me. I don't want to speak for everybody, but it did for me. And like, they got cute shit. I can't lie. Like, you know, like,
they have cute shit. Yeah, I'll say. I'm gonna shop around. I think I'm gonna try to find a different brand from Victoria's Secret, but I do have, I think, one particular pair that's from there. I think I posted it earlier too. If anyone wants to check out my new not safe for work alt, it's on there. But
I wasn't gonna mention it if you weren't going to, but if you're gonna go ahead, then yeah, by all means.
Yeah, check it out. But
for funsies.
Yeah, the last line I is also one that makes me cry, which is, "So I'm not afraid of that box in my bedroom, though I offer no repentance. Even though every time I try to tell you the truth, I trail off at the end of my," and then it stops. And I think that's beautiful. And also, like, you see like growth through the song too, where it's like, you know, at the end, the singer is like accepting it, you know, not saying I'm sorry anymore. And I definitely feel that, you know, because I'm all about living authentically these days. That's what I want to do. I'm not sorry for who I am. And if it makes you uncomfortable, fix your heart or die.
That's gonna be the fucking name of the episode if we're not careful. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm 36. Like, real talk. You know? At this stage of my life, like, I'm seeing I'm seeing girls literally half my fucking age at 18 being able to just go out and live their life and do their shit. Like, there's no reason why should be fucking feeling ashamed or closeted about anything. Like, you only get one go round, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna waste time anymore.
Yeah, and also, you know, I gotta say, you're just as hot, if not hotter, than a lot of those girls, so good job, Moth.
Thanks, genetics.
It's true. You rolled really well on the genetics table, I must say.
But also, hats off to estrogen and progesterone, because honestly, I would not be here, you know, looking the way I am without that shit. So, it is not...
That's true.
Like, that shit definitely helped me out a lot. I wasn't going to say it if you weren't going to say it, but I do really appreciate it. And feeling sexy, finally, if, you know, after 30 plus years, it's definitely a different feeling, you know? The hormones definitely played a big part for me. Not saying everyone needs them. I will just let people know to set a realistic guideline or whatever. For me personally, I did not get here on my own.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't grow tits without, you know, pharmaceutical intervention. But also, they work. They're growing. All right?
And that does not make your tits any less real, Siobhan.
That's true. Yeah, I'm holding them right now. They're real.
Let's fucking go.
They're coming in. Yeah, let's fucking go. Okay. The next song is very topical, especially as, you know, things start to heat up. It's called Sweaters in Summer. And I gotta say, this is a song that's, like, very meaningful for me because, like, it is about to be summer, and it'll be my first, like... I mean, I did transition last summer, but I was, like, a shut-in once I started to transition. Oh my god,
that's right!
Yeah, so this will be my first girl summer. And I'm worried about...
hot girl summer.
Yeah, it's hot girl summer, and I'm worried about, you know, like, because I know, like, archaeologists are big outdoorsy people. I'm going to get the invite to come down to the river and all that stuff, and I'm going to be like, what do I do, you know? How's this going to work and things like that? And I was talking to my girlfriend Natasha about this, and her advice was... girl bold summer, just like rock it, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, like, yeah, you know, I'll do that. And then, you know, I made a joke about how I'm gonna position it so that it looks like I have a gun in my pants, you know, where like I line it up with like the panty line, you know?
Oh!
Anyway,
that's a fucking look. Yeah, I'm honestly in the same boat because I've never been swimming or anything since my transition. So I'm out here like, what the fuck am I gonna do? What am I gonna wear? Do I dare a fucking bikini? Do I just do like a kind of half-ass top and shorts? Do I do a one piece? Like, I'm not extremely gifted in the, well, I guess get gifted or cursed or however you want to look at it.
Yeah, in a trans feminine context, it's not as simple, but yeah.
Yeah, in the genital department, so I don't have too much to worry about, but it's still gonna be noticeable, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I am, so that's gonna be a fun time.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
You're gonna be like, does that girl have a softball in her pants? No, unfortunately.
Goddamn.
But yeah. So this song is sort of just about like it's another like it's an anthem, right?
Yeah. Especially at the end when it gets hopeful. It, you know, yeah, it really kicks it into high.
There's not any particular lines that I want to highlight in this song, just that, like, it's basically just about what we've been talking about, like, you know, going out in the summer as a trans woman, and you can't wear your dysphoria hoodie, it's too hot. Or, I mean, I guess you can, but it's you know, are you going to spend the whole fucking summer blasting the AC? You know what I mean? I don't know.
And we talked about it a couple episodes ago, swimming with a t-shirt on, which I did when I was a kid because I didn't know why I didn't want to take my shirt off. You know, it's one of those things.
Girl, I did the same thing, and I did it as an adult too. And like, my saving grace was that like a lot of archaeologists do that because like we all have like these like fishing shirts that we use for the field.
Oh,
and they're made out of swimsuit material. They're made out of like a polyester cotton blend, so they're great for just going in the water. You know what I mean? And then they just dry off super fast. So you know, I was able to get around a lot of my dysphoria just because it's like, you know, a lot of the people I'm hanging out with are already doing this. I want to wear a fucking 2-piece bikini, girl. That's what I want.
Yes.
And you know what? God damn it, I'm gonna do it.
I'm very curious how I would look in one.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And you know what? We can listen to this song while we shop for it and while we put it on.
Yes.
And it'll give us the strength to do so. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
And I don't know about you, but the other half of the song hits really close to me. The no one talks to the girl at a party sitting all alone playing a guitar in the corner. Well, that's more you than me. Or staring at her phone. That's me. Okay.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk to the girl staring silently at the wall. I am so painfully affected by social anxiety. And yeah, if I'm out somewhere, like if I were to be at a party or if like I go to a show, I'll see other cool people at the show or whatever, but there's no fucking way I'm able to like say anything to them because I don't know. Like that's one thing I want to overcome. Like I think I've slowly started to overcome well, I mean, I haven't swam yet, so I guess we'll figure that out. But the social thing is the big thing I want to tackle, is actually being able to approach people and not think I'm being annoying or, you know, think I'm putting them out or bugging them. That's still a big hang up for me.
I feel that. Though I will say, like, I did feel that a lot more pre-transition. Like, I just got back from, like, you know, a big, like, professional conference. And it was my best conference yet because I felt like I could actually authentically meet and talk to people, where before I felt this like horrible wrongness to everything in my life that was like unplaceable. Still cis though, you know.
Right.
It's like one of those big things where like I look back and I'm like, no, that was dysphoria like my whole life. I mean, I definitely have a bit of social anxiety, but it's, you know, sorting out one from the other sort of thing, I think. Next song is called Giving Up. It's probably, like, the most overtly sad song.
Yeah.
I think the line to highlight is, I've got this dream where I give up on everything, sell everything I own, and move to the woods alone. But I'm so over giving up, so tired of quitting, so sick of believing that I can't do all the things I need to do, that I can't see anything through. Like, yep, depression, you know?
Depression on its own was rough. The depression, dysphoria sandwich. I know not all of us deal with it, but it definitely makes it harder. The song does give a little bit of hope, which is nice. A little, I'm so tired of quitting. Like, yeah, like, fuck that.
And also that's sort of like if you look at the track list, it is the middle of the record where, you know, if we know Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, that's the lowest point of the story. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Am I right, literature heads?
Oh, wait a second. Who's that at the door? Uh-oh. It's English teacher Siobhan. She's here!
Yeah, she's here, bitches. She never left, actually.
I love that song. It's great. It's definitely a bummer.
It's so good.
But
yeah.
What isn't?
What isn't, you know? And sometimes bitches be depressed.
You know, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta feel that shit. And honestly,
yeah,
that is a big takeaway from me. You know, I hate to admit it, but I would turn to anger. I had rage issues.
Yeah.
And that would just be my way of not having to deal with sadness. But actually being able to sit in it and acknowledge it helps get through it so much better, I think, for me.
100%, girl. Yeah, that's, and yeah, I mean, I feel like we keep coming back to it, but it's like you are authentically like living your life and feeling your feelings, and some of those feelings are going to be bad. And you know what? I'll just say it. Girl rot is an essential part of serving at a different day. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta rot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't shave that day because you have to let your skin recover. You know, and you might not feel as good that day, but you know what? The next day or the day after, you're gonna look really good, and you're gonna feel really good too. Girl rot is an essential piece of the puzzle. Regardless of gender, regardless of anything, we're just a bunch of stinky primates, going around, okay? You are a fucking ape. Like, we're all apes, okay? And as much as we like to clean it up and, like, do the whole thing, at the end of the day, like, you just want to go into the woods and eat fruit and sit. You know what I mean? Like, and you got to do it sometimes.
Everyone is entitled to a rot period. Everyone deserves a little gross out time for themselves where they don't owe presentability to anyone else.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Because that's unrealistic. You're right. You can't.
Literally impossible. Yes.
That's fucking exhausting.
And now on to another song that makes me fucking cry. Gender is Boring.
This is, I think, the one we might have the most discussion about.
Yes, I think so too. This is also the most She They Just Like Me for Real song.
Right.
Like, maybe that's ever been, and maybe that will ever be. Like,
whoa.
I can't think of a single song or even imagine one that could possibly be more She They Just Like Me for Real.
Yeah, this definitely sets a standard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also it was like very healing for me to listen to the song. So I think on that note, we're probably going to read every single fucking line of the song. So let's just get it.
I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah. I never wanted to be a princess. I never asked anyone to braid my hair. I never asked my mom to buy me things that I saw on the TV marketed towards girls. I never wanted to wear a dress, and I was never obsessed with the color pink or sparkly things, unicorns or fairy wings. Gender never really meant that much to me, till people started telling me how it was supposed to be. Till the people I loved started to say, boys don't act that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when I was younger, I was fairly androgynous. I actually did, in high school, very frequently ask women to braid my hair and paint my nails and things like that. Because I was doing it as a joke. Like, sure. Big air quotes, But, beyond that, like, yeah, I had a pretty masculine upbringing, ultimately. I did actually play with dolls when I was younger until my parents were like, you have to stop. And then I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, like, very weird. Weird for me to remember that, because I had, like, repressed it for so long. I, like, didn't think about it, and then I started transitioning. I was like, oh, yeah, that did happen. Like, what the fuck?
One thing that does stand out in my memory is that my parents bought me a box of Barbie cereal because I saw the commercial on TV and I wanted it. And they have no one to blame but themselves, because that Barbie cereal is what did it. I'm telling you, Siobhan.
That's what did it.
That is what did it. I never stood a fucking chance.
Oh, no, 100%. You ate that cereal, and it trams your gender for sure.
The first fucking bite, it was like this magical unicorn rainbow thing. They just thought it was magic, and we're like, oh, it's magic, all right, Mom and Dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking trans magic is what's going on here. You couldn't have foreseen the power. But that is an example, though, of my parents didn't really give a fuck about how they were going to raise me as far as conditioning. I had a Cabbage Patch doll growing up. I had stuffed animals. You did?
Yeah. kid. And I did have a lot of stuffed animals, and I had them for a really long time.
Me too.
Then, I stopped because of the gender suppression, I think, where I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore because, like, someone's going to find out and they'll make fun of me, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, we mentioned earlier that, like, both of us are people pleasers, and I think that's one reason why... Okay, so we're both people pleasers, and we both grew up in a generation that was, like, before kind of more significant trans liberation that we've seen recently. We're both people pleasers, and I think that one of the things that happened with us is that we were just like, well, this is what's expected of us, and we want to make other people happy, and that's everything to us. So that was, like, really me and my, like, male repressor, like, state, which is that it was like, well, other people like me like this, other people expect me to be this way, so I have to do it this way. You know what I mean? That was, like, a big thing for me for a long time.
And if you look at video, like home videos or whatever of me in, like, kindergarten, first grade, I'm what people would consider back in the day a hyper child. Very loud, very run around, full of life. And somewhere along the line, that shy, socially awkward person took over.
Oh my God, Moth.
I don't know if it had to do with gender expression or not, but definitely something was suppressed there.
I relate to that so much because I was the same. Like, I was very, like, boisterous and outgoing, and then, like, I think it was around puberty time, like, I started to become extremely reserved.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Feeling wrong all the time, and, like, just not having processed that until, like, much later in life. It's like, oh yeah, that was, like, the dysphoria kicking in, you know? That was like, I am experiencing the wrong puberty, but I just didn't have the words for that, you know?
There was a memory that came flooding back to me very recently, and this wasn't around puberty time, but it was around my 20s. And I don't want to gross anybody out here, but I'd be on the toilet, right? There was a time period, and I remember mentioning it to Nebula and them being like, why do you do that? And I would say, I don't know, but I would sit there and I would pull my pubes out.
Oh my God. I did the same fucking thing, girl.
No fucking
way. Like, no
way.
joke. Yes, I did the same fucking thing. That's crazy.
Were you just seriously just like, you just, like, grab a chunk and you just yank them out?
Oh, yep. Uh-huh. I did it with my leg hair, too.
Girl,
for the longest
time.
I know, yeah. And it's like, I didn't know why I was doing it, but then I would, like, touch my skin when it was smooth, and I'd be like, this feels right. This feels good. Still cis, though.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Folks, the branding, she, they, just like me, for real. What the fuck?
That's insane. That's fucking insane. Okay. Let's keep it rolling here. We still got a lot to cover.
We just had a goddamn Nardwuar moment where, like, Nardwuar is interviewing the musician and they're like, yo, how the fuck did you know that?
That's so true.
Okay, but yeah, gender is boring. We're still in that.
Okay. So verse 2.
Yes.
See, the problem I have with gender is that I'm not even sure whether I know what I mean when I say I'm a girl because I feel that way. Because boys can wear dresses and makeup, anyone can wear whatever they want, girls can have short hair and muscles, and that's why I run into trouble. Because if I use she pronouns, well, what does that mean? Am I reinforcing a gender binary that I don't believe in, that I don't adhere to? I say I'm a woman, what's that supposed to tell you? Gender doesn't tell you a damn thing about me. Doesn't tell you what I like or how I act. It doesn't tell you how I speak. The people you love, they don't love you if they say, boys don't act that way. When I was first transitioning and I was, like, coming out to my parents and stuff, they were like, well, I mean, like, it was the classic, like, well, why don't you just be a feminine man thing, you know?
But not like that.
Like, well, Yeah, right, yeah, because it's like ultimately like society is just like don't transition like at every corner. So like whenever they say that, they don't actually like support feminine men or masculine women. They don't, but they just don't want you to transition. You know what I mean? And I was at a loss because I was like I don't know what I mean when I say that I'm a girl because I feel that way. Because like when I see myself and think about myself as a girl, as a woman, I feel so much joy and happiness and connection with myself. Where, you know, before I was completely disconnected from myself. I didn't really like openly, outwardly hate my maleness as much as I was just disconnected from it and actively disconnecting from it at every possible opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, like beyond that, you know, like I identified as non-binary for a long time because I thought that that's just what that experience was like. And I also, you know, I'm a huge supporter just generally of non-binary people in that experience, and also feel like I'm still non-binary, you know. So I don't want to reinforce a gender binary by being like, well, women only act this way or whatever, you know.
I think with me, it was more like I realized that I did not have anything in common with men. I felt very uncomfortable hanging around men.
Oh my God, yes.
If I was hanging around men, I put on a caricature.
Yep.
I would try to match their edginess. I would match their misogyny, unfortunately.
Girl, me too.
I would just try to get to their level to be accepted. But if I was around girls, I would be able to talk to them way more comfortably. I enjoyed their company way more. I mean, we've all had this experience, but there was one time at work where two women approached me and they just went, "Dead name, you aren't like the other guys here." And that was a point of pride. Like, I was happy that they said that.
Yes.
But I didn't know why. It was more or less just, guys suck, and I'm glad you don't think I suck. But under that, like, there was something else underneath the surface that I wasn't ready to understand yet.
100%, girl. That you're speaking my language right now. And I gotta say also, like, since transitioning, I feel like my relationship with masculinity is so much better too, because I don't think that like guys just suck, you know, like plenty of guys suck because of the patriarchy, you know what I mean? But like masculinity in and of itself is fine. It's just not for me, you know?
I've noticed I have less tolerance for men though than I used to.
Oh yeah. Me too.
I was just gonna say that could just be me, but okay, no, you're there too. Guys annoy me way more than they used to. I have zero like, oh my God, please shut up, get away from me. Like, just wow, y'all. Yeah. I don't know how women put up with y'all. Y'all are a pain in the ass. But see, here's where we differ though. Like, I worry sometimes because of lyrics like this and because of things, because like, do I necessarily want to reinforce a binary? No, I don't. Like, my partner's non-binary. I also, you know, for a while, considered myself non-binary. When I started presenting myself and I would talk to my mom, she would look at how I dressed. She would look at the makeup, and it was more or less just a, like, almost criticizing me for fitting into stereotypes. And it's like, well, I can't help that those stereotypes make me feel good.
You know what? Women do be shopping, okay? Going shopping as a woman is fucking great, all right? You ever gone to brunch and had a fucking mimosa? It's like you're gonna ascend. It's so good.
Look, I don't drink, but I'm considering it just to drink a fucking mimosa. I need part of that brunch experience, girl.
Yeah, well, you can have a mocktail with like orange juice and Sprite in it, and it's just as good. Like, it's less about the alcohol and more. Yeah, it's more just about like the fact that it's like a sparkly, girly drink, and you're like hanging out with your gal pals, and you're about to go shopping. It's amazing, you know.
Ooh, yeah. Because shopping before, absolutely hated it. Didn't want to do anything less than fucking shopping. Now, it is a problem.
Yeah.
It's hard to get the clothes, know what works, figure out what doesn't. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of shopping in there. That's, that's hard to avoid. Like, I mean, ultimately, like when people say, what is a woman? Just like anyone that identifies as one. Like, that's just that's the long and short of it. If you say you're a woman, you're a woman.
Exactly. And look, Shania Twain already wrote the treatise on it, okay? Like, man, I feel like a woman. That's it, okay?
Let's go, girls.
That's it. You're fucking flipping your hair. You're doing a dare. Whatever the fuck. Whoa. That's all you need to do.
Exactly.
Come on.
God, I need to get that song locked down on my karaoke playlist because I feel like that would kill at these little like country karaoke bars I go to.
Ooh.
And it's like me, very visibly a trans woman, and like singing, like your singing voice, it's like very, very difficult to voice train. So I just sing like how I always have, and I have kind of a baritone voice. So that's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for that.
I really hope someone videotapes it, because if I see video of you singing "Man, I Feel Like a Woman," I'm probably gonna cry.
Hell yeah!
That sounds fucking amazing.
I'm gonna wear my pink cowboy hat. I'm gonna get some like fuck off cowboy boots.
Girl,
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good.
Fuck yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay,
Bridge. And I think it's time that our culture moves past this toxic notion that the way we act is dictated at birth, or that we have to choose. It's an imposed binary. Either way, we lose. So do what you want and dress how you feel. Don't let anyone tell you that gender is real. It's useless, oppressive, and boring, worthless, and hurtful, and stifling. And I think it's time we put it in its place. So come on, let's put gender into an early grave, and never want to hear anyone say, boys don't act that way. Here's where I kind of take issue with the song a little bit.
Okay.
Because,
well, first of all, it's a very 2015 kind of trans song. Or I guess this is 2018, but... Anyway, go ahead.
That is true. It comes down to personal experience. Mm-hmm. If this is how the singer felt about it, I'm not going to argue with them. It just doesn't work for me.
I relate to that.
Kind of like how we talked about with Hedwig. That was John Cameron Mitchell's experience, but it's not necessarily going to resonate with everyone that listens to it. It's like, gender is important to people in the way that it's, it's euphoric. In that way, it's validating to feel gender, and to like let's put it in an early grave. Like, that works for y'all, but like, gender is important to me.
Yeah,
and I know it's not important to everybody, but just like for me, I don't really relate to that too much.
I also do like absolutely take issue with that, because I love having gender. Like, I found a gender that's great for me, and I don't want to just kill gender. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I like gender, so I can relate to that. But that said, like, the lines, like, do what you want, dress how you feel, don't let anyone tell you that gender is real, it's useless, oppressive, and boring, worthless, and hurtful, and stifling, that makes me cry. Because that's how I felt for so long. That, like, I was, being oppressed and, being hurt and stifled, by gender. But yeah, I do agree that, like, now that I have a good gender for me, I love gender. I love having gender. I even think to myself sometimes as I'm walking around and, like, people are looking at me, like, wearing, like, a long red polka dot skirt, that, like, man, I love having a gender. You know what I mean? It's great. I kind of go back and forth on it, because I definitely see that. But I also, at the same time, like, I like being a little non-binary with it. It's fun. I really relate to the character Angel from Has Been Hotel, who's a, like, male character.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want to be just like him, And, like, that's kind of part of it for me, too, is that, like...
I get that.
I really look to, like, I love Bugs Bunny, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He's great, I don't want people to kill my gender,
Exactly, yeah, but I do understand, like, it is oppressive, and it is stifling. Like, I totally agree with it in that sense, that, like, before... when I was just fucking black jeans, black shirt, blue jeans every fucking day, like, yeah. I didn't know I wanted more than that because that worked for me for so long. But I didn't also give it any thought outside of that because I didn't feel like I could. So it's extremely freeing to shake that loose and be able to explore more. But, like, that's a societal thing. Because, like, the song itself even says that, like, anyone can wear whatever they want. Anyone can look however they look. Like, that's not determined to gender. Like, you can still be non-binary and be completely femme-presenting or masculine-presenting. Like, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. I just know for me, I would be way happier if I could present as femme as I would like to all the time.
Yeah, and just be instantly read as a woman. You know, that's the thing for me. Like, I want to be read as a woman. Especially, like, I especially want to be read, like, you know, I joke a lot about how, like, I'm really clocky, but I like that. I like being really clocky. Like, I want people to, like, see me and be like, wow, that is a beautiful, like, woman, a beautiful trans woman. You know what I mean?
We're on to family.
Family. Oh, God. This one is so rough. Okay, I'll go ahead and start it.
Okay.
Verse 1, we speak, we talk, yeah, we hang out a lot, and you don't use my name. You think I don't notice how you guard your tongue, and we're always alone. Yeah, we're always alone. So fucking relatable. Like, I think the only time, since coming out, the only time that I've hung out with my parents in public was on my birthday, because I chose the place. But otherwise, it's always been just at my parents' place alone. I don't think it's really intentional. I mean, because, like, my mom has invited me to things that are, like, you know, more, like, social and, like, out with people. I don't think she's ashamed of me, but she's only called me Siobhan a few times, you know. Otherwise, she avoids, you know, she calls me her kiddo. You know, she doesn't call me her daughter, right? And I think she's just processing it. You know, I'll give it time, but, like, I notice, you know, I notice how she guards her tongue.
We had a conversation recently where my mom goes, what do you want me to refer to you as, or what do you want me to call you? And I was like, Moth? And she was like, no, like,
yeah.
Do you want daughter? And I was like, yeah, I love that, actually. And she goes, well, because, like, now I say my kid. I leaned into it. I was like, oh, just fucking call me your evil spawn. Call me your evil seed. Your
yes.
She goes, oh, the bane of my existence. I was like, yeah, any of those. No, seriously, though, daughter, please. Hasn't been able to do it yet. But I consider this progress. She did call me a bitch recently.
Okay, we're getting there.
It's
progress.
We have an interesting dynamic, you could say. That's her tipping her toe in the water of just, like, referring to me in a feminine way at all. That's her way. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get some days. I'm very looking forward to a dinner with everybody, like Nebula, myself, and my parents at a public place in a fucking sundress, like,
hell yeah,
full
girl.
face makeup. Like, I'm doing it. It's next chance
You're
I
gonna
get.
fucking serve too. I'm so excited for that. Also, you just reminded me that I need to buy some sundresses. So
I don't have a sundress yet. I need one.
I need one so bad. Okay. Last line I want to talk to you about this song is, and it's a secret you don't tell your friends, but if you ever want to be close again, you have to accept that this is who I am. Like, yes. Like, if you want to be close to me, you gotta get in line, you know? Like,
yeah,
you have to be on board with this, because otherwise it's not gonna fucking work. You can't, like, toe this weird line of, like, never referring to me in a gendered way ever. That's not gonna work, babe. Like, you've got to.
Yeah, like, I can't help that, you know, gender or whatever is not important to you. It's very important to me.
Next one is a really funny title, Transitioning to a Life Without You.
God damn, this is a banger.
This is a fucking banger. This is like this is a breakup song.
Yeah. This is the keep your block button handy. Yeah, don't go scrolling on your FYP fucking Happy Birthday, Mr. Baskets.
Hell yeah.
Tell off song that I love so much. Very empowering.
Oh my god, it's so good. I think the chorus is the most relevant thing. You won't remember this face in 20 years. I will be older. I am changing all the time. And you may not see this face for 20 years. I am transitioning to a life without you. Mm-hmm. And that's so powerful because it's like, yeah, like literally like that guy you dated, I fucking killed that man, okay? And I would do it again.
In cold blood.
Yeah, I would take him behind a fucking shed and shoot him right in the fucking face, all right?
That fucker's dead.
The song itself is very beautiful, and it's like a good breakup song because it's like empowering, like you said. And it's also nice for there to be a song about like your ex that you dated before you transitioned, because that's a very particular kind of experience. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I fucking talked to 3 of them since transitioning, and yeah, it's like a oh shit moment every time. So yeah, it's definitely yeah, it's wild.
Thankfully, I don't have that many exes that I still talk to, and the one that I do have has been very cool about it.
That's good.
But also we never talk, so like who cares? Occasionally, like I'll post like a selfie on Instagram, and she'll be like, "Wow, you're so pretty," and I'm just like, "Thanks," and that's it. That's the extent of our interactions.
It's just a little, oh, I appreciate that. Anyway.
Now we get to the fucking anthem, "Never Pass." What do you think about this song?
I like it, and again, it doesn't really resonate with me, only because I put a lot of stake in passing.
Me too.
Not to say that it's required for everyone. It's a matter of safety. Kind of wanting to sometimes go stealth mode as much as possible.
Yeah.
But also, like, I live for being gendered correctly in public. Like
100%. Yes.
A ma'am, a ladies, that shit, pump it directly into my fucking veins, up my ass. I need that shit at all times.
Boof the she, her directly.
Because I fucking love that.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's not important for everybody. So it's another song I enjoy, but just not one that speaks to me too much.
Yeah, I have a very similar relationship with the song as well, which is that I first got into it when I was doing this like long-term like field project in rural Texas. I mean, I'm often doing that, but it was like my first big project like that. And I was like, you know, just starting to get into she, her, hers, and like listening to the songs. It's like the big song, the big anthem, and I would skip it every time it came up because I was like, no, like I want to pass. Like I don't. It's so hard being out here and just being like he himmed all the time. It's like the worst, you know, especially because like, you know, at the time it was like a couple months ago. I was only 6 months in, and it was like, I don't know. I have a very particular kind of trans experience because I don't think a lot of trans girls are just like itching to go out into the rural parts of their state and meet the worst people. You know what I mean? But I have to for my job.
I was just gonna say, is that necessarily something you look forward to, or is that just part of it, like something you have to do?
That's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, I love being in the field, but I just don't like every other part of my life when I'm in the field. Yeah. Because of that. You know what I mean? So I would absolutely like skip this song when it would come up for similar reasons, right? I want to pass. I want to be she, her in public. You know, I don't want to have to correct anyone, and at the time I wasn't. I would just never correct anyone, you know. I've started to now, and that feels really fucking good, especially when it's like a waiter or something, because it's like, oh, like regardless of what you think, like you better call me she, her. There was a situation recently where I don't know what this guy's fucking problem was.
Oh.
But I was like sitting at a bar, and I bought a drink for me and my friend who was about to do his presentation at the conference. The bartender like rung me up or whatever, and then he like read my dead name off of my card and handed it back to me, and he was like, "Here you go, dead name." And I was just like, thanks. You know what I mean? It was like so fucked up. And then that same thing happened later with like, there was like another trans archaeologist who I was spending a lot of time with at the conference, and we were getting food, and like the waiter did the same thing to her, and it's like, she's in a full dress right now. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's so fucked up. Why would you ever think that was okay to do to a trans person? It's like not hard.
I seriously, my fucking jaw, like when you fucking said that, I cannot believe the audacity. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I was like, ugh, thanks for the vodka shots, asshole. And didn't tip him at all. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like, you know, I do typically try to tip, but for a bartender who does that to me when I just ask for 2 vodka shots, like, get out of here. You're not getting any of my fucking money. Fuck you.
That's rough as hell. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. It was a
furious
time.
For you. Fuck.
Yeah, and anyway. So
yeah, I have never corrected someone. I need to. I think it would feel good, but I also, in the back of my head, like, don't want to be that bitch. You know what I mean? But
I get that. Yeah, but you should.
I mean, I deserve it. Like,
yes.
If everyone else is going to be gendered correctly, there's no reason why I shouldn't be, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and the thing that happens to me, too, is there's been a few times where, like, people have gendered me correctly, and then I say something, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm like, no, you were correct. Like, but that's an easy one, because it's like, they were already there, so I'm just like, no, you were right the first time. Like, no need to correct yourself, nothing to apologize for, you know, we can move on with the interaction. But it also, it's like, yeah, I probably should voice train. It's hard. It's hard to do that.
I've sent you clips of me trying, you know? And even as recent as earlier today, I said to myself, I'm going to go into this recording trying, and I just didn't. You know, it's very hard. Like, to consciously do that, especially for as long as we go. Like, oh, if we were just recording something real quick, yeah, I could probably manage that, but we've been going for 2 hours. Am I gonna fucking keep, you know, a voice that I don't use any other time of the day going for that long a time? Like, it would kill my voice. Like, my throat would be killing me by the end of it.
Oh my god, yeah. And, like, I'm gonna stream after this, too? Are you kidding? Like, it's over, you know?
Yeah, there's no fucking way. I think you sound infinitely more feminine than I do, and I hear you, and I'm like, oh, if only I could fucking sound like Siobhan. I love your voice so much. I know I've said that before, but it's fucking true. Like, you have such a charming, smooth voice that I wish I fucking had so bad.
Thank you, Moth.
Of course.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, and you know, I do a little. You know, I speak in like the upper register of my voice, and I'm getting better at like learning like just ways that like, you know, like cis women tend to speak, like just like turns of phrases and things like that, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of weird shit in our society that's gendered. But yeah, you know, I don't really modulate my voice. Like, I think if I did modulate it, I'd probably be able to like pass a lot better. But kind of bringing it a little bit back to the song, like, one of the things I like about this song is how liberating it is, where it's like, it's not, it's not about the color, as the song says, it's the obligation, right? It's the fact that, like, you have to do it that way. And it's like, I think that's the part that really resonates with me as an anthem, is like, yeah, like, I'd rather live my life visibly trans. You know what I mean? Obviously, like, safety is a concern in some situations, and I hate boy moding, but unfortunately, in some situations, that is the safest option for me. When I'm comfortable, when I'm in a place where, like, safety is not a concern, I do like to be a little clocky with it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know? Just thinking about, like, you know, hanging out with friends and then, like, cutting into, like, the deeper manly voice is, like, really funny. It's, like, a fun bit, you know?
That is a fun bit, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, I think we got this song. And do you have any more that you'd like to say about Never Pass?
No, I think I'm good. We can move on to the final track here. It's a rough one.
This one gets me. Yeah.
I think I finally love myself, which, ooh, boy.
Some days, if I could give it this all up, you know I would. If I could trade pissing behind a rest stop in Kansas in fear of the looks of road-tripping families and truckers for a college degree and comfort in my assigned gender, you know that I would. What a fucking opener.
Yeah. God.
And also so relatable to me because I spend so much time in rural Texas.
Oh yeah.
I never piss. If I can help it, I do not piss in the gas station bathroom. I just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thankfully, like, as an archaeologist, I just wait till we get to the field and then I run and go piss behind a tree.
Oh.
But when I'm, like, doing the road trip to and from the area, you know, several hours, or, like, you know, I just had to drive, like, you know, interstate level travel, which was like over 8 hours, I did piss in the men's bathroom and it was not fun. And there are some days that I do miss that safety and ease with which I could interface with the world.
At work, we have 3 bathrooms. We have one that's a men's room, one that's a women's room, and one that isn't gendered, but it's kind of been claimed by the guys because there's more men working there than women anyway.
Overflow bathroom, essentially?
Yeah. So women don't like using it because guys use it more and they just think it's going to be grosser, even though it's like the best of the 3. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go figure. Recently, both the men's and the overflow were taken. There's a lot of times I've seen men just effortlessly go into the women's room and use it like it's no problem. When I do that, I feel like a fucking alarm is gonna go off. I am not allowed to do that. This is forbidden. I didn't have a choice. I went ahead and I used the women's room. And something about it, I don't know if they have different lighting. I think it's softer lighting in the women's room.
Yeah, it often is.
When I tell you, when I saw myself in the mirror in the women's room, that was the shit. That was...
Yeah.
Oh boy. That was good. It felt really good.
Hell yeah, girl. Well, I encourage you to keep using it because you belong in there. And like I said, it's often not even a big deal at all. Okay? It's just like... No one
cares.
No one cares. You just wash your hands, you know. During the road trip, you know, at the fucking, you know, I actually often do go to rest stops because it's easier to use them and they're often empty, like on road trips. So, word of advice to all the T-girls out there, go to rest stops instead. Damn. And if you have to, there's usually woods right there. You can just run in there, you know, just run in the woods. So that was verse 1. Would you like to read verse 2, Moth?
Sure, yes. English teacher Siobhan, I'll take that one. Mm-hmm. No one really gets to choose the person they are, and I did not get to choose how I was born. and I won't choose how I die. And I will probably live in doubt for the remainder of my life that the choices I'm making just aren't right.
You ever feel that way? You ever have doubts?
Occasionally, but...
Me too.
I know I'm doing the right thing. I think with me, the doubts come in... Like, oh, thank you. Nebula just brought my estrogen, so I can go ahead and take that at some point. Thank you.
Yes. Girl drugs.
Hell yeah. That it's just not doing enough. That's where my doubt comes in. Not that I'm doing the wrong thing or that I'm just doing it wrong. Timeline pictures help so much with that. Like,
yes.
A big thing I'm very insecure about is my hair right now because I'm growing it out, and it is by far the longest my hair has ever been in my entire life, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. It looks fucking great, by the way. You look so cute. I have to tell you.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like it's not where I want it to be. It doesn't do what I want it to do most times. Like, it's still in a very awkward growing phase. Like, I have to straighten it for it to do anything I want it to do, and I don't always have the time to do that, so I just end up hating how it looks. So, like, if I have to go to work and I just don't have the time to fix it. But recently, I looked at a picture from when I first started growing my hair back out, and now, and seeing the difference there is like, yeah, okay, we are making progress, you know? But I guess a big thing, and I hate, because, like, as much as I, you know, could get blue in the face telling other girls that, you know, don't compare yourself to other girls on Twitter or whatever, I'm telling you, I need to take fucking mental health breaks from Twitter sometimes because y'all depress me sometimes. Like,
yeah,
I fucking look at the timeline and I see like 5 fucking pictures in a row of just like gorgeous fucking girls with, you know, the body I wish I had, the face I wish I had, the hair I wish I had, and I just need to get off for a while, for my own well-being, because it hurts too much sometimes.
Yeah, that's relatable to me. And I think you should take those breaks. And yeah, I mean, similarly, I also have doubts sometimes, but it's only when they're like, as I was just describing, when I feel this like friction with the way I have to interface with the world, and it's like less safe, that's when I have my doubts. I don't doubt that I'm making the right decision overall because I feel so much better. And in fact, would you like to read verse 3 for me?
Oh, sure, why not? Let's see. But most days I feel stronger and more beautiful all the time. I am more confident and self-aware than I've ever been in my life. I am happy to be happy with all of my faults. I'm content to be content with all of my flaws.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's a fucking mantra. I need that posted somewhere.
Yes. Let's tattoo it on the back of your eyelids.
Okay.
It'll work, I promise.
Yeah,
it
sure.
won't hurt at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And like I said, you know, I have definitely been feeling that way. Like, a lot of my social anxiety is just gone. I feel so much more connected, confident, self-aware, everything, you know, stronger for sure.
I need to get there. I'm still not there, but I'm getting there.
You're getting there. You're getting there every time. Every time, you know, we talk, I feel like we're closer, you know?
Yeah.
And that's good. That's what we want. No one really gets to choose the person they are, and I did not get to choose how I was born, but I can choose how I'm living. Powerful shit. And I will probably harbor some doubts, but mostly I feel fine. In fact, I feel fantastic. I'm living with enthusiasm and reckless abandon.
Yeah.
That is my shit.
Hell yeah. 100%. Yeah,
absolutely.
The enthusiasm and loving life is definitely a new thing. it just really went from just not caring at all to having something to live for, you know?
Absolutely, yes. And it's really impossible to stress how the connection with oneself and the, like, oneness of being is, like, so new for me, and I'm sure for you, that it's like, and, you know, living in fear for so long, now to just be, like, ourselves in this, like, beautiful way, living with reckless abandon and enthusiasm, you know, it's powerful shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're fucking doing it.
We're fucking doing it. Okay. All right. I think that's the record. So what did you think of this one overall?
I really like this album.
Yeah, me too.
I have absolutely no problem just putting this on. It's an easy breezy listen, even with how sad the lyrics can be. It does one of my favorite things where the songs are sad, but the music is enough to get you through.
Yeah.
Is that nice spoonful of sugar, so to speak.
100%.
It's in the same echelon as another record we might talk about. I don't know if there's necessarily more to even say about it at this point, but Transgender Dysphoria Blues.
Oh my god, we have to.
Yeah, I think we kind of have to. The songs are so fucking good, catchy, they're fucking bops, they're bangers the whole way through. Nebula and I were at a concert, and we left the show, and I put on that record because they had never heard it before. And I had heard it so many times, right? About halfway through the second song, in my head I went, oh yeah, that's right. This album's really, 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 really sad.
It is indeed.
Like, oh yeah, that's right. And then we get to fucking, like, Paralytic States, and I'm like, this was a mistake. Oh, God. What have I done?
That one is woof.
I hate how catchy that song is, because it'll get stuck in my head, and there is nothing worse than walking through work and just going, never quite the woman that she wanted to. Like, oh, yes. No. You don't need that in your head on repeat. But it gets there. It's a fucking earworm.
I like that comparison with the She, Her self-titled record. I think it's a lot like Transgender Dysphoria Blues. And it's like, you know, trans punk is just like the best. It's like such a good, I mean, because punk has always been like, do it yourself, be angry at the world, and like, don't let anyone tell you how to exist. And yes, that is the thesis of what it's like to be a trans woman. You know, the two go so well together.
Yeah, for sure. This album is way more hopeful than that, than Transgender Dysphoria Blues.
It is indeed, yes. Later in transition written, you know what I mean? Because like, I think Transgender Dysphoria Blues was like right after she transitioned, like she wrote that.
Yeah, she'd been out, or she wrote it like, yeah, as she was coming out, and then released it a couple years later, I think, if I'm getting the timeline right.
Yeah.
But having read the book, I wasn't aware that when they were recording the album, she fucking stopped all her shit, went off all her fucking hormones, and was convinced that she probably wasn't going to live to see the album come out.
Oh my god.
Hopefully, at some point down the line, I'm not sure when it'll be, the People's Joker could be a possible topic, but there's no shortage of stuff out there, which is to say that if there is an album or a movie, or I know there was like a couple comic books that we even have in the queue that we're looking at, something that spoke to you as a trans person, something that was very important and pivotal to you in your transition or inspired your transition. We try to focus on material that is either created by a trans person or deals with a transgender experience. So
yes.
Either of those. And yeah, there's a chance we'll talk about it on a future episode.
Yeah.
Folks, thank you very much for spending your time with us, whatever you were doing. I'm very glad that we could be part of your day in some way, shape, or form. And we thank you so much for spending your time with us and hope you will again on the next episode. Until then, don't forget, fucking take your meds, drink your water, relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw.
Yes, and if you're not medically transitioning, just keep, living your life in your gender and fucking serving, okay?
Serve.
Stay strong, bitches.